Okay guys, so today I'm going to show you how you can use MIT App Inventor to build your app, generate the app APK file, and then publish it to Google Play. So Google Play is the official app store for Android users. So once you can publish your app to Google Play, and all the Android users can use their Google Play app to find your app and download your app and then try your app. So it's very exciting to do as app developer. So now let me show you step by step how you can publish it to the Google Play. So before you do anything, I assume you already finished your app here in MIT App Inventor. So as a developer, the first thing you want to do is to make sure everything is working perfectly. The user interface, the user workflow, all the color, the theme, and no bugs. And you should really test it carefully and make sure everything is working as expected. So for example, here I'm actually building a very simple game, which is called a reaction game. So when the game starts, I click on the start button, and then within a random amount of time, this little cat will be appear on the screen, and the player needs to actually touch the cat very quickly. And of course, the shorter amount of time the users use, the more scores, the high scores you can get. So that's kind of the idea of a game. So I already built everything. Here's the UI and here's my blocks. All right, I'm gonna try to run this on my Android phone and to test it and make sure everything works. So I'm gonna use the very typical way to connect my phone, which is to do it through AI companion app. So I already have this code here. So I'm gonna open my app, the MIT AI companion app, and I'm going to type this code here. So, and I'm going to connect with the code. And now the phone is connected. So here's the game. So that's how we play it. So if I click on button start. All right, and I need to click on that cat very quickly. Here you can see how much time I spend and what is my high score. So I start this again, and that is faster, so that actually updates my high score. So that's a very simple game. So far everything looks good. So let's assume that I'm done with my app, and now I want to publish it. All right, so as long as you are okay with your app here on your phone, and you can start to do it. So when you start to publish your app, now a couple of things you need to do. Number one, you want to go back to your components and you want to choose this root screen for your app. And pay attention to this. If you have multiple screens, now the first screen is always the screen that users will open first. So you want to make sure that this screen one, you have the correct setup. Now, what do I mean by correct setup? Now, this property, some of the property here, you should give a correct names and configurations. So for example, here, this app name, that's going to be the name that will be shown on the user's phone. So this one, make sure it's a name that you want. All right, so I'm going to call this as reaction game. And then another thing you want to do is the version code. All right, so by default, if this is the first time you publish it, the version code should be 1 and the version name is 1.0. Now think about in the future, if you made some updates and you want to update your app in Google Play, you have to go back here and increase the version code to 2 or more than 1. And also change the version name to be 1.01, for example. All right, so that's what you need to do to update your app. So version code really controls the current version of your app. But by default, since it's the very first version, I'm going to call it 1.0 and then version code, which is 1. So make sure the name is correct, because otherwise, once you publish your app may be called something else, some kind of default name you'll be using for your project. Now, another thing you need to configure here is the icon. So right now, I'm actually don't have any icons. All right, so you can actually upload the icon to App Inventor and use that one. All right, so there's different ways to get icons, and you can definitely make something by yourself. Make a square icon and cut the image nicely so that it actually fits for your phone. Now, let me also introduce another good tool you can use online to generate some kind of icons for the app. The tool I often use, I would just do an Android app icon generator in Google. And then this one right here, you can actually, I will put the link in the below the video. So if you click on this side, it's a very nice tool to help you generate the icons for the Android app. And you can generate this icon in different way. And for example, you can click on the text. And since this is called reaction game, I'm going to put the letter R. And then below here, you can see what the icon will look like. All right, so you can do some of the configurations. For example, I can add some paddings. So you will see the letters become smaller, looks a lot nicer. You can also change the color, right? So I want to use a light green. And then you can also, of course, change the color of the text. So I would do maybe orange, something like this, but you can do whatever you want. All right, and you can also use an image to build your icon. So for example, right here, if I just put a cat image, and then that's what your icon will look like. All right, so, but anyway, I'm going to change it back to the letter R, and you can do some of the configuration, just play around with the side. It can give you some of the simple kind of a template. But of course, if you have your own ideas, if you have some nice images and graphics asset, feel free to use those. And now the only thing you need to do is make sure the size is correct. Now it has to be a square, so which means the width and height should be the same. And also, Android will ask you to provide a image size with 512 by 512. So what does that mean? So in this tool here, if you generate the web icon, all right, and you can see it gave you all different sizes, but this high resolution icon, which is called web icon, that's one you're going to use later on when you start to publish your app to Google Play. So make sure you click on generate web icon and get this big one. And finally, you click on download everything. And you can see you can get this little zip file. And then if you unzip the file, you will find out all the resources here in the folders. All right. So the one you really need to use is this 512. As you can see, the height and the width are both 512 pixels. All right, so this is the one you should use. Now with this, you can go back to App Inventor and then open the screen one and then change the icon by uploading the file. So I'm going to go back to the folder I just did, and I'm going to choose this web icon, click on OK, and then that's going to upload the icon to my app. And then at this point, this app has a nice icon. All right, so once you're okay with the icon, with the name and also the version number, version code, now we can start to generate the APK file. All right, so if you click on build, and let's show the second option here to save that APK file to the computer. What it does here is try to compile and put all the resources of the app together and to generate one single executable file for the Android platform. So later on, when you start to publish your app, you're going to upload this APK file to Google Play. So when other users want to download your app, they're going to download this APK file and they can start to play your game. So that's it. So with this APK file downloaded here, you're done with the MIT App Inventor part. So now we need to move on to the publication. All right. So to publish a Google Android app in the Google Play, it's not hard. Now you just need to apply a Google account, just like the account you have here to use for the MIT App Inventor. But also to become a developer, to be able to publish it, you need to become Android developer. So let me open my Android Google Play account. All right, so I already logged in with my account, and then what you want to do is go to Google Play Developer Console. So if you just search this site here, and you will find out the link here, and click on it. If you already become a Google Play developer, then you can see a screen like this. So right here, I have a lot of apps published before, and most of these actually are published by some of our high school students. But in order to be able to publish this, you want to pay $25 as a kind of a developer fee. But that's only one-time fee, and once you're done, you can just publish as many as you want. All right, so right here, I already have my account set up. Now, in order to publish it, I need to create this application. So I click on the create application, and I want to put a title. And the title here is going to be called Reaction Game. And I create. All right, so now you can see this new window here, which asks you to put a lot of information. So to publish your app, this is the main thing you need to do. All right, so first of all, you want to put a short description, which is a simple reaction game. And then the full description, you can put more text. But here, I just want to give you some kind of quick examples. All right, but you can have 4,000 characters to put here. And then let's move on to the volume part. So remember, any of these required fields, you have to give the input. Otherwise, you cannot publish it. So right here, and they ask you a few things. Now, one thing is this high resolution icon. So this one, we already have it. So click on the button here to upload the same one, but make sure, as you can see, it says 512 by 512. It had to be exactly this size. Otherwise, Android doesn't take it. All right, so this looks good. And another one is you need to provide some phone screenshots. So what does that mean? So think about sometime when we go to Google Play, and then when we are seeing some of the apps, let's say for example Snapchat, and we can see some of this promotion screenshot. Looks very nice, so that gives you some idea on what the app does. So you want to put those kind of screenshots as well. So how to get it? It's very simple. All right, so if you are using your Android phone, just like what I'm doing here, all right, you can actually get a screenshot by pressing the power button and plus the volume down button. All right, so let me try this right now, and please watch my screen. So I'm gonna press the power button on my phone and the volume down button at the same time. So I'm pressing it right now. All right, as you can see, it actually gets a screenshot automatically. And Android requires you to get at least 2 screenshots. So I'm going to try maybe start a game and then get a score. And let me do one more. So I'm going to press the power button and the volume button down at the same time. And hold it, and you will see this screenshot being captured. So this is a very simple way to get a screenshot. And there are other ways. You can use emulator to do it, or you can just cut it from your screen. But this is the best way to get a real screenshot from your phone. And the next step is how can we get the screenshots from the phone to the computer? All right, you can just use anything you want. For example, here I am going to open my Photos app. All right, and then I am going to find out the device folder, which stores all the screenshots. All right, from there, I'm going to choose this 2 screenshots. I just get it from my app, and I'm going to share it and send it to myself. And I'm going to send it. All right, so with that, I'm going to open my email and also download these screenshots. All right, so I go back to my computer. All right, so here are the 2 screenshots. I'm going to download both. All right, so now let me go back to my Google Play account. So here you can add your screenshot, right? So you go to downloads, and then this is one, and this is another one. All right, so that looks good. But compare this one with the one we just see from this Snapchat. That's different because Snapchat has this nice background and text everything to make it look more professional. So I highly encourage you to also try that kind of style. And if you don't know how to make those kind of images, one tool you can use is something called DaVinci Apps. All right, so if you Google that and open it, and it has a free account you can use. So if you log in, just register the account with your email, and then you can use this tool to generate some kind of nice screenshot. For example, I'm going to create a project, reaction game, and then let's add some new screenshot. So you can choose a template, and I believe some of these pro templates you have to pay, but some of those you can just use it. For example, I can just use a Nexus 6P and go to the template. From there, you can just choose a template. I'm just going to pick one here. All right, and then we can actually choose the image we just get from the phone, and that's how it looks like. And you can put some, text at the top, and then to describe and promote your app. Exciting game. All right, and let's add and save. And then you can add the second one by clicking here. So new screenshots, and put your second screenshots. Get high score, and save, and review, and export. So you only need two, but if you can do more, that will be better. So let's just export everything. All right, so here we go. Now we've got everything downloaded, and if you open it, there are two nice and better images. So now we can actually use this to send it to the store. So this is one, and then this is the second one, and I'm going to actually delete the first two. All right, so this will make your app looks much better. All right, now there's another thing Android requires, which is the feature graphics. So what does that mean? That basically means that when you are trying to download some apps from the phone, all right, for example, right here, if I go to Google Play Store, all right, I'm seeing this Google Sheets app. Now the image you see, the little part right here as a kind of a promotion background, that is called graphics, feature graphics. All right, so you need to generate that kind of image. As you can see, Google asks you to provide this 1024 by 500 dimension for that image. So you need to generate another image for this. And then again, if you don't know how to do it, and go to Google and just Google Android feature graphics. There are actually a lot of tools you can use to generate it. Like the one I often use is the first one, and you can just use the tool here to type some of the name, reaction game. Cool, amazing. I'm going to keep those, and you can also change the background color. All right, something like this. I just want to do something very quick, and then I can download this PNG file. And now I go back to my App Store, click on add the feature graphics, and here we go. We can upload this photo to Google Play. All right, so now we're done with all this store listing. There are a few other options you need to fill. One is the type of application. It's going to be a game, category, and adventure, card, educational, racing, simulation, sports. So I'm going to put racing here. And the content rating, we'll talk about that later. And then your website, if you have a site, and then put your site here, your personal email, your phone, just in case people want to ask you questions and contact you. And the privacy policy, this is really a simple app, so I'm going to click and check not submitting a privacy policy this time. All right, so with everything done here, I'm going to save the draft. All right, as you can see, there is a green marker here indicate that this section has been finished. All right, so that's a very important step, but there are actually 3 other things to fill in order to publish your app. Let's go through this one by one. First, do this app releases. Go to app releases. Here is where you can upload your APK file. All right, so you can upload 3 different type of releases. Now, production basically means the real app you're going to let user to see it. Now, alpha is normally used for internal testing. If you just want to see how that works, only want a group of users to try it, you do the alpha. And then beta sometimes is a larger scale of testing. And you can have different options to let people to test your app. But for now, let's just talk about how to do the real production publish. All right, so I'm going to manage the production, and then I'm going to create a release. And then right here, as you can see, the first thing you need to do is to upload their APK, but it actually asks you if you want to enroll in this Google App Play app signing. And let's just skip it for now. Let's just do the normal way and upload the APK and select the file. So you need to find out that APK file we generate from the MIT App Inventor right here. So I'm going to click on this and upload it to Google Play. All right, now it has the version number, version name, and then here you can just put some kind of notes here. So for example, the version 1.0 of the reaction game. All right, and then save it, and then you can review it. All right, everything looks good. And now you can see this part here, the green marker has been highlighted, so we're good. And then 2 other things to do. These 2 are very simple. One is content reading, to talk about what kind of content you have in your app. So continue. You just need to finish and answer all these questions. So type your email, confirm your email, and then choose the app category. It's a game. And then you have to answer all these questions. All right, and then finally you save your questionnaire and calculate the rating automatically. So this is what Google Play tells you, this is your content rating. So let's apply this rating. All right, so now you're finishing this section. And then finally, you have pricing and distribution. All right, so by default, your app is for free. You can also make it a paid app and set up a price, but you also need to set up a merchant account. So you can look at the instruction how to do that. For now, we're just going to make it a free. And then here, you can manage what countries can see your apps. So I'm going to get most people to download my app. So I'm going to just choose available everywhere. So all the world can actually see the app. All right, so this is very simple to apply. And some other questions, just take a look at the questions required. Do you contain ad? No. And some other things here, and we can see there are some check boxes. You want to follow the guidance and follow the laws. All right, so to check everything. All right, so finally, let's save it. So as you can see, 4 errors all become green. Now we're ready to publish. So we click on ready to publish, and we go to manage releases. And then now we go back to that production we just did. So we click on manage production, edit release. And the only thing you want to do here is to review it again. This is the last button you want to click. Start rollout to production. Let's confirm. All right. So now you have sent your application to Google Play. And what Google Play is doing right now is actually reviewing your app. And as long as your app doesn't have any of the inappropriate content, doesn't have any of copyright issues, and normally they will approve your app very quickly. So if you just wait for 4 to 6 hours, and sometimes shorter, depending on what time of the day you are trying to upload your app, you will see and go back here as the status will become approved or published. All right. So for example, let me show you one app to see what that looks like. So for example, this app right here is called Walk Tracker. All right. So if you click on this one, this app has been published. And then if you can see, and you can go to the Google Play Store link, that's the actual app. And once your app got published, you will have a similar page just like this. So users can also see this from Android phone and from Google Play, and they can find other app. All right, so that's all the steps you need to do to publish your app, and I hope everyone can find and try these steps one by one and get your app published as soon as possible.